Hello everybody, this is Spirelli and welcome back to Disco Elysium. So, I am by myself. Right, because Kim is bringing away the corpse. So what can I do? Report back to Choice. Someone's using... Oh right! Yeah, I should not do that by myself. Should not do that without Kim. Right, no. But I do have my batch back, so technically she should tell me everything she knows with that. But then also, should I do that without Kim? I feel like he's, he's helping me there. How are y'all doing, by the way? If I'm sneezing, that's because I got allergies, which is fun. Keep searching for the caller. This might take time. It might take a while. Do something cool in my... Find a way into the secret passage. Go to. Find government marked heavy fuel oil and return to the wall. Oh no, how to? Okay. The victim's tattoos. I don't know if you see him. Get a reality lockdown. Keep asking those questions about reality. Find smokes and smoke them. I don't really want to do that. I want to smoke. But it looks to me like I kind of need to head over to the new area. Right? And go explore a bit more here. Was there anything I needed to do, like... him not there? I'm gonna go ahead. Who's saying that? The little black swallow circles above you. You hear it cheer up. Rust-eaten leather sweetened bazu. The rear turbo motor carriage adorns these. Nolan, Vassank, and successful model. You know all about them cars. Make it super clear that this is not the real life. Okay. Quick travel unlocked. Church. Okay. I don't see a church, but that seems like a good place to go, right? Doesn't matter. Church. A quick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. Feel the shadow of a very large building. A very large building. Dusty poos and shadows. Many seem to be missing. Now they're shrouded in dark, or something like that. Too dark to tell. Can I find it that? That doesn't... Okay. That doesn't help. Anyway. I miss Kim. Starting with Sun Prune 1147. I want my Kim back. How long until he's back? I don't know how long I want to do this without him. Not that long. And another building. Will I be able to tell Kim of all these? These rusty gears used to turn the whole machine. The building before you housed the engine. Must have been a big one. Chain trails off into the ocean. Who knows? To who knows where. Where it's been recently discarded, it still smells of fuel oil. But don't I need that? Don't I need like heavy machinery oil? Let's see if I can go inside.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
What is this thing anyway?
The concrete structure looks military in origin, over half a century old at least, but sturdily built.
Possible to open it and not be retried. Okay, I'll do that then. I haven't gone into the church because I can quick travel there, so I want to see how far this goes out. Wow, we got a big area. Cigarettes butt, clean the man of rock, brand Tio Mutiri. Take a mental note, Tio Mutiri. Seems important something. Someone made a campfire here a long time ago. What's this? A rusted broken control box with a radio relay tower. Guess that's a radio relay tower. That is rusty to climb, the air has eaten away at it. This relay tower coordinates boat traffic in the bay, barely. Okay. Vented. Tiny inlets there, often far distance to the postal roads. As far up as I can go here. Do have to say those boots, might have stole them. What is it? No person. Oh, shirt. Very good. I sell clothes anywhere. That style. Rockhead pulls it all together. If you need any fashion advice, you can always ask me. I have the best advice. Come in here. Now I still need to go to the first. A dead phone. Smashed receiver like someone hung up too hard. Might it also have been me? Is every sign of destruction me? I must have worked hard to smash the plastic though. And cat noises. You can imagine why. Calls become terrible. Was me.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad.
Oh shit.
The cloth, if you can still call it that, makes a soft crunching sound as you thrust your finger into it.
Take a closer look.
It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
I'll take it with me. Makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk happen. Art will keep out neither rain nor snow nor wind. There's money here. Lit wine canister, open and empty. Oh, and that's the person.
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
What is it?
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency, that faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. It is death. It must be.
It's a dead corpse, isn't it? Oh.
Yes. A sense of dread washes over you as you look ahead.
That is not a person? It is a corpse?
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there. Another dead body. This is your job.
This is my
Steel
job.
yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe.
Yes. Study the man himself.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. This place is a minefield in the dark. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here.
Examine his face.
His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years.
But what about the man's clothes?
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom made.
Search his pocket.
You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Study the surroundings.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here.
So no, don't step on the floorboards. Examine the man's head.
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him.
Examine the bottle.
A .75-liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside.
Examine a chewing gum wrapper.
Rybowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall.
Look in.
The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there. Solidified on his lower rear teeth. To hide the stench of alcohol, no doubt.
Hey, step back without stepping on the floorboards.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
What should I do with the body?
First, you need to talk with the lieutenant. Then report back to the station. This is too complicated to handle on your own.
Agreed. I want to do this someone.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin.
Examine a tear.
2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find.
How many bottles of vodka can one person drink?
No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
Examine that cigarette packet.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content.
Examine that kebab wrapper.
You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol. It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief.
Up and there I go. This kind operated view has been out of order for you. We're running over the floorboard. Go to door to door. Yep, I'll be back with Kim. Moonshine probably. Smells like tasty. There. Coin operated waiting machine. Hasn't been used. this? Mega Venus prescription lens. Ooh. Give me. Yeah. Look up here. You look up. See your cool new fault. Reckons of recently painted tape. Type red water trip. Oh, now I can open it. Postcard. That's why I could interact with it. Going. This. I discover these long dusty windows. Yeah, but what is it? Hey, that's a person. It's alive.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Ah, yes, their famous motto. A fine example of technological optimism from...
There's something, but the wind blows and you can't hear it. What do you? Another power box. Charge nothing. Empty. Money. Oh, wait. Some more money. I'm getting rich. Health item. Pens box to pass. No way out. Let's talk to them.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
Black man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. Sees you approaching and smiles.
You, officer, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I was just telling my son about this building. Not many people appreciate the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
And the hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young carve and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
Alright, you were talking about the building. Go on.
Very important. Mikhail, say hi to the officer.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. Chart stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching this worm-themed coloring.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
Yeah, why?
Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his hands and face. All three of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Feld Electrical. And Feld, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Look at the building looming over you.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was that, Ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer.
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he used.
He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind.
What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Why wipes his nose and
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins. All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
what happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
He means that the boys got shot by the communists. The boys were bourgeois.
I'm not gonna talk to the kid about that. Tape computers. Right.
Tape computers.
What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
The what? What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
How did those tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Jews joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Wompty Dumpty Dum Center?
Yeah, he did.
What the hell is a Wompty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Yost?
Okay, the Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center. Paul Ockerman, Keith and Guy Juiced. What are you talking about?
The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
Too making this up? Hey, look, kid. Is your dad making this all up?
In fact, I'm not. The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
The RCM should get one of those.
Even one would be very useful. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to the precious device. But so they did. The Feld playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
Wait, the Felt playback experiment. I can't quite tell whether he's actually talking nonsense, he's actually making things up, or me as a character feels that way because of the whole amnesia, but that has always been handled differently within the game, you know? So the failed playback experiment.
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
And you're saying that Felt Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
Oh, it's still on the map.
A wheel!
The kid looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
I want to toss something else.
But of course, what else?
You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
Brushes it off like it's not a thing at all.
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
Could I have some of that unimportant money then?
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms.
Looks uncomfortable, his left hand squeezing his son's shoulder.
I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
I'll take small amount.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
By the way, do you work out?
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and then.
Lo Mantang stick fighting is a form of martial arts originating from the island of Lo Mantang. It uses slender wooden sticks for confronting the opponent.
Form of martial arts from the Isles of Lomantang, right?
Actually, a great many cultures have their own version of stick fighting, such as the sacred Mabolo tradition of the Harli people. The name deriving from the butterfruit tree traditionally used for crafting the long, slender sticks, whereas the sticks used in other cultures...
You doze off as he paints you a comprehensive picture of the history of stick fighting among mankind, seasoning it with unexpected pop culture references. Man, he's good at speaking. People must love him.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying?
I'm not really interested in the practice. I just want to know how often you work out. Now and then. That's what, like, once a week?
Lomantang stick fighting is a little like a Spirelli addiction. I've been practicing it for nearly 20 years now, so you could say that my doses have grown a little peculiar.
So, what is it? Twice a week then? Maybe every other day? And is it difficult to stay on the right topic with you?
Dad's fighting with sticks every night after dinner for 4 hours. He has a special room for that, and a special costume.
That's right, Mikhail. It also has a meditative quality. Helps to clear my head. But anyway...
Well, thanks for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
Yeah. I hope you have some money on you next time we meet. The water runs from the west, sources upstream, a broken pipe. Yes. New postcard, I don't know what that's good. Folded library card, working in. A library card found from a pocket of the dead man on Martinez boardwalk. Still slightly damp to the touch. The cover bears the stamp of General Public Library.
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his family member.
Look inside.
Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinton Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too.
Look at the backside.
If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours 900 to 1800. You should first decide what to do with the corpse before taking any further actions. Talk to Kim about it.
Yes. Let's talk to Lieutenant about it. Put it away. Have a new pint. Have anything cool here? Wumpty Dumpty Dumpson. It's Wednesday evening and something heinously exciting is underway. People have gathered beneath the billowing roof of an oddly shaped trophy building, sipping wine, exchanging opinions. 29-year-old Wonder Twins Guy and Keith Hughes are the stars of the show, the bomber jackets and white sneakers. Head curators of this art exhibition. The Wumpty Dumpty Die Dummist event of the year, and all the cool kids have RSP wheat. Where are you? You're not there. Wow. Yes. Return to the dead body with. Don't go here. And this is back to the pit. So let's go to the church, right? Church. Here. Here. Go.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Back to staple.
The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Take a closer look at the padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow.
Well, let's look at the sticker.
You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before.
What makes it so modern?
It's the contrast between the cheery, chemical yellow and the rigor mortis. As if the cheery guy didn't know he was dead, or the dead guy didn't care that he was. Either way, you get the sense the forces of future are at work here.
Take another look at the boring padlock, for absurdity's sake.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow.
Inspect the carpentry.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. 2 large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Run your hand over a beam.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch.
I'll rattle the door to see if they open.
Nothing happens, only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door.
Didn't expect it to, but let's try and peel off the sticker without ripping.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Put the sticker in your ledger after the last entry where it belongs.
Looks like today was a gold star day.
Okay, let's see whether we can up our physical instrument a little bit to make that room, no, not the room, door a bit easier. Yeah. Oh, but this. Okay, so I can't make it. But I did. What did I just do? Some paperwork. In your conceptualization scarf, decide to style the paperwork so it be cooler somehow. Be on the lookout, but now this will take time. Completed it. Well, that's cool, I guess.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you.
Apply some
The
visual
rectangular
force.
seawall.
Oh, let's see. That's probably don't
Heavy
help.
wooden doors, more than twice.
Wrong tool. Okay, let's try.
Heavy wooden doors, more than a minute or so of mauling away at the lock has led to no success. The pry bar in your hand has given you 0 mechanical advantage. The doors remain unchanged, closed with a padlock.
Physical instrument. I'll never be really good at this. Oh, some of I got better at talking. Damn. Still have a skill point left. Hey. Be an eye coordination. Perception. Yeah. Perception's good for a police officer, isn't it? Okay, so I can't go into the church. He's not around. And then up there, there's nothing more. I think I can explore that part. What do I do? I just want Kim to go. Why do I miss him so much? Looking back at you from the rust-colored water. You! Well, what a surprise. That is indeed her reflection. Then here... there a way to get up here? Where am I going? Okay, more stuff here. Not a boat in a boathouse today. This section of the coast hasn't been used in the shape. Forgot about that. I've really been looking at my portrait. But as is surely constructed, a strong breeze might blow it over. Some money. Can't go over here, I'm trying. Okay. Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of the shaded bench, covered in rust. What's this?
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Okay, even more bullet holes. Something has definitely happened here.
The density and spread of these bullet holes is surprising. This takes a lot of bullets. Fully automatic rifle fire.
Okay, so there's bullet hole in the plaza, bullet hole in the backyard. I know about the revolution and I know about fell electrics. So the only way this can fail is with a 1-1, which always loses no matter what. Why this many bullet holes?
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound, no movement. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. Snowflakes fall on the wooden planks and the surrounding sand dunes, covering the land with the white of innocence. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What is this?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
Wow. Let's look at the people against the wall.
A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Ordinary people, familiar, each and every one of them.
Who were they?
Comrades, the forsaken, the wretched, who tried to rise against the horrors of the world.
Look at the line of soldiers.
7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one?
What about the person standing on the side?
The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air, the lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
Who was who in this execution? I need to understand.
I'm just a representation of your mental faculties, piecing together any available information. You should probably ask the lieutenant. A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
I really need Kim to be with me. Sign says entry Interrogate. No entry. All ticket taker booth. No longer in a pool. When will Kim be back? How will I pick him up? Did we say something about meeting tomorrow? So it's not only back shot, it is inaccessible. Fallen people. What is that? Small wire framing inside this futuristic looking fallen peepo hat gives its aerodynamic shape of swoop skew's helmet, but none of its protective qualities. Covers the wearer's ears and eyebrows to bring down the track coefficient. Logic, I guess. Okay, that's as far as I can go here. Yep. Well then, I think I'll end this episode here. I'll see. I really need my Kim. I hope he's coming back soon. I look ghostly with those eyes. And yeah, there's so much to explore over here. There's so much to do. I want to talk to Choice, but only with him. There's a second corpse now, which, you know, died by accident. So, another murder. I think I haven't really talked to the people in the village other than the lady who's offered me her room. Whereas where I can sleep tonight, but there's, you know, like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 more hours in this day. And there's not really a building I can get into. But yeah, so much opened up. Only to get to the other side of this. This game is amazing, isn't it? The way you can explore things, the amount of things to do. I feel like I'm missing half of it. But on the other side, I feel like there's so much I'm already doing and exploring and figuring out. I just love it. If you like the game, I mean, I can just really, really recommend you get it as well. Especially if there's Elysium, but also full price, you know, just it's an amazing game. And I think if you play it, especially if you pick a different kind of character, it will open up different possibilities. Like if you have a lot of authority, then, you know, you can get people to tell you things more easily. If you're really strong, you can get into places really easily. And from what I know, it really changes up things. I mean, the main storyline will be the same, but you might discover things that I cannot discover. You might discover things that I could discover, but I haven't found, because I'm not a completionist. And yeah, just like, really, really can recommend. Amazing game. I mean, you've seen so much of it by now, and yet you've seen so little. Go support them. They did an amazing job. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks to you everyone who's been subscribing, because people keep subscribing and it's amazing and I love you all for it. And yeah, I'll see you soon with more, because there's infinite things to do. See you then.